Let's bring in infectious disease specialist and ABC News medical contributor, Dr. Todd Ellerin. Dr. Ellerin, good morning.
Good morning, Diane.
So President Biden now says that there should be enough vaccine supply for all adults by the end of May. But does that mean we'll all be able to actually get the vaccine by then?
Yeah, well, remember, this is very good news. Remember, availability doesn't always mean immediate accessibility, but we're going in the right direction. We're giving nearly 2 million doses a day to individuals. We've seen historic partnerships between rival pharmaceutical companies. I think what I'm seeing is that as we work together, more coordination, more collaboration, I do believe that we are going to be able to offer the general population the COVID-19 vaccine by summer. And I think that this is exactly what we need to crush this virus.
Now, Texas and Mississippi are two of 11 states now loosening restrictions. Texas Governor Abbott said he's dropping the state's mask mandate and opening 100%. What do you make of that, and what should states consider before lifting restrictions?
All right. Well, Diane, you know what my answer is going to be. We've talked enough. I do worry about opening up completely and telling people they can rip their masks off. We just heard what Dr. Fauci said about the possibility of variants. Remember, we're still having about 60,000 new cases a day. That's twice as many from the peak of the spring a year ago. So we really need to make sure that we flatten the curve more before we start opening up everything completely. Do I think we can go ahead and open things more? Cautiously, yes, I do. At the same point, if we see things going in the other direction, we really need to reverse course quickly. Also, we should still be masking as much as possible, even if we're vaccinated, when we go out in public.
And we heard Eva mention that the CDC is expected to release some new guidance for fully vaccinated people and whether they can gather together. What do you expect to hear there?
Well, again, things are going in the right direction. Imagine the fact that we can have friends over who've been vaccinated into our homes. And, as long as we're all vaccinated, we can take off our masks. We don't have to physically distance. Again, that's predicated on the fact that you're not going out into crowds, not going out into public without masks. But I do believe that what we're seeing is that vaccinated individuals who get together, I do think that we're going to see a real new normal and getting back to where we were in the pre-pandemic way. But again, we have to mask when we go out in public. That shouldn't change.
And so when are we going to see that next level, that point where if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask in public and you don't have to socially distance?
Yeah, it reminds me of the book that Dr. Ashton recently published, The New Normal. It's very important for us to realize that we're probably never going to be exactly back to where we were pre-pandemic. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, meaning I think that we're going to see people that realize when they go into crowded places, they're going to want a mask, even if the CDC changes its guidance, far down the road. So I think what's important is that we don't want to be judgmental. We want to allow people to have individual safety measures that they think. But for now, I want to be clear that whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated, if you're going into public, you need to mask. If you're going to crowded spaces, you need to mask. When you go indoors, unless you're around a group that you know that everyone's vaccinated, we still want to be masking.
And I want to hit you with a viewer question because this one's an interesting one. One, they want to know if it's possible we've already reached herd immunity. And two, when will we know when we are there?
It's a really insightful question. So, and not an easy answer, but let me say this. When we've reached herd immunity, the case counts are going to continue to decline. So right now, we've seen cases decline significantly, but have started to really plateau and in some places even increase a bit. So it's unlikely that we've reached herd immunity on a national level. But I do believe that herd immunity, in part, is responsible for why the cases are coming down. Remember, herd immunity includes the number of people that have been vaccinated plus the people that have had natural infection. But I also think that it's the masking, the physical distancing, avoiding crowds, and possibly some of the seasonality, right? Remember, viruses peak and then they come down. And even though we see winter left, when you think of influenza, the peak and the decline doesn't last the entire winter. So I think we're seeing a number of factors at play here.
And then we're seeing airlines starting to prepare for revival in travel. When do you expect travel levels to return to normal, and when can we do that safely?
Right. So we're going to want to do that in concert with CDC guidance. So right now, because there's still 60,000 cases a day, because there are variants that are surging, the recommendation is that we limit travel as much as possible. But remember, flying is still the safest way to travel. We know that there's very little transmissions on airlines because of masking and optimized ventilation. Okay, so we're not seeing a lot of cases there. So that's good news. I do believe as more of us get vaccinated, and once the general population, once most of us are vaccinated, I think that things are going to open up, including airlines, and I think the CDC guidance will change as well in the positive direction.
All right, certainly hope so. Dr. Ellern, great to have you as always. Thank you.
Take care, Diane.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.